Alright, sorry, my mic isn't calibrated for recording like this, but max transcendent characters and GQ units, let's see. If it ever loads. Okay. So, max transcendent characters, I mean, Kenpachi, Bruno, Aizen, Ichigo, Tsukishima, Rukio, Noel, Shuhei, Kisuke, Byakuya. I have a lot. There's a lot of max transcendent characters, and there's a lot more that are 5 out of 5 effectively max transcended, and there's also a lot more that are 5 out of 5 that are not effectively max transcended. I mean, if you played, you should know these characters. So that anybody with 10 is probably 1 out of 5, and just like level 10 SP or level 10 attack. And then there's some 5 out of 5s that weren't worth leveling up. I do have this guy 5 out of 5, but I just don't use him anymore. Yeah, so lots of 5 out of 5, lots of very useful max transcendent characters, like the Aizen and the Kenpachi and Bruno, Ichigo, Tsukushima. Everybody that you can see right here is very useful. As far as Guild Quest team goes, I bet it'd probably be easier if I link slots. Give me just a second. Let me write down everything I need to. Alright, let's just start with Soul Reaper. So Soul Reaper week, range Soul Reaper week, that's my highest score. I have a possible sub 1, I just haven't reset enough for it. With Bruno main, Aizen, and Noel support. Where is Noel? Yeah, right here. Bruno main, he has the Kamari, she has a Kamari. I don't have a hard T set, but it's definitely sub 1 possible. I've already done a sub 2 second Guild Quest run with that. Melee Soul Reaper, that is also a sub 2. I use Bruno main again because special moves aren't affected by melee and range damage. So his special move still does the same amount of damage. And then I use Ichigo as a support, and then who else? Let me sort by killer. Melee. Oh, Tenjiro. Tenjiro, I think, well, I know Kenpachi would be better than Tenjiro for a support for a sub 1 second run. Shinji would also be good. He needs a lot more Transcendence points, though, to try and get the 3-star SP, so that's why I haven't used him. Kenpachi only needs a little bit of work. Like, attack and focus, I already have enough materials for that, but it's not Melee Soul Reaper week right now. I could get him to T15 to finish it off. I don't have enough potions for T20, but now with 5 times, that's pretty easy to do. And I mean, the team can still sub 2 seconds with Karinji, who has a T set. Ichigo, both of those as support. He doesn't have a T set, but he doesn't need it to sub 2 second. And then Bruno, you know, he has the Kamari, so I use him as the main on both ranged and melee Soul Reaper week. And then for Captain week, this week is range Captain week. I use the same team for melee and range Captain week. I use Aizen main, Kenpachi, and Chad support. Chad's not T20, but it's enough that on this week I get a sub 20 with possibility of sub 15 if I reset more. I haven't been resetting as much because I just don't care anymore. That team can definitely do a sub 15. The melee week can do a sub 10 because most of the damage is coming from Kenpachi. What else? So that's melee range. For the Squad 0, Human Sternritter Quincy week, which is not a ranged or melee specific, I use Aizen as a main because weakening and frenzy +2. And the vortex. His main thing is just weaken as much as possible and then keep everybody CC'd. And then I use Tsukishima and Askin. They're both T20. Askin is built for PvP. I mean, so is Tsukishima, dodge and low stamina boost. But it's still an easy sub 20. Possibility of sub 15 if you get lucky weakening procs. Hollow Week, melee Hollow Week. I use... who would I use for melee Hollow Week? I'm pretty sure I use Ichigo as a main. Anniversary Ichigo. And then Hiyori and Ikaku, who is 5 out of 5. He doesn't have the 3-star, but damage to weakened enemies on both of them are actually only on... Oh, yeah. Start barrier and full stam is better. If I had this guy T20, he would also be start barrier. But it's still an easy sub 10. This was my first sub 10 second run ever on Hard Guild Quest. So they've been doing the same thing for a long time. It could definitely be better if I had like her 5 out of 5 and her 5 out of 5, but you know, it is what it is. Still sub 10, pretty easy. Ranged Hollow Week, who do I use for Ranged Hollow Week? I'm pretty sure I've been able to sub 5 Ranged Hollow Week, but it's still a consistent sub 10 with Byakuya main, and then Ginrei, and who else? Oh yeah, and Jushiro obviously is the booster. But you can, if you want to do a sub 5, it's not as consistent. You need more resets to pull it off. But if you run Ichigo main with Byakuya and Mugetsu on the side, I would actually swap this to damage to weakened enemies because I don't use him as my no affiliation main anymore, since I have the art book Ichigo. But yeah, you could do sub 5 with that team if you wanted to, but it's still an easy sub 10 with the other team. Arrancar, melee Arrancar. I'm pretty sure I still run Bruno main on melee Arrancar, because then I can just run Candace and Rukia, and because they both have, all three of these guys have their SP golden item, so you could definitely do a sub 1 second run with that team. I know I've done sub 5 second with that team. You can also swap Shuhei in, but he doesn't have his T set, so Candace and Rukia are probably going to be better for that, because he has the same Berserker as Candace anyway. Or actually, no, Candace is 40? Yeah, they both have... Oh, no, he has 20, actually, doesn't he? So yeah, Candace is just straight up better, and she has the SP. Yeah, he only has 20 Berserker. So yeah, Candace, Rukia, Bruno, easy sub second. I've done a sub 5, like I said, I don't really reset like I used to. I could do a sub 1 if I reset enough, because Bruno is, he is a beefy build. I think he's not built, but yeah, everybody's pretty much maxed out to their max potential. Oh, melee, and then for ranged, obviously Bruno main, and then Kisuke, who I just recently got to 3-star attack, and he's Guild Quest focused. Who else do I use? Oh yeah, Ruka for the boost. She's T20. I don't remember doing this. I must have had excess speed pots, but I mean, same thing. She doesn't have the 3-star attack, but she's mainly there to boost Kisuke. And now that he has, I was already doing sub 15 runs with that team, with Bruno main, Kisuke, and Ruka. But if now with that was with 3-star stamina on Kisuke, and I was doing sub 15. You could probably, I know you could do a sub 10. You might be able to do a sub 5 with that team now, even with NAD supports, which is pretty impressive. Espada Week, which is now also split into melee and ranged, so my teams did change up a little bit. I started using Nanao as a main for ranged Espada Week with this guy, and then a booster. Who do I use as booster? Probably Broken, because that team can't sub 10 second. Who else would I use as a booster? Surely I use a 20-second booster. Oh wow, Espada boosters kind of suck. You can always slot in Jushiro for his 20-second boost, because Ulquiorra can definitely carry the support role. And then also, that would keep this guy at full stamina. But he's weak and immune, and ranged characters don't... They don't really have trouble keeping their full stamina if you reset a couple times. So, but you can also run Rukia, even on range week, run Rukia main with Nanao and Ulquiorra support, because Nanao has a 20-second boost and a barrier, so that would also help. But Nanao is not very good, like, built for support. Honestly, she's not very well built for main or support. She's not 5 out of 5, so obviously missing stats. And actually, if you want to be completely Guild Quest focused, it would be better to run attack slot instead of focus slot. So just keep that in mind, because hard mode Guild Quest bosses have defense, and defense gets subtracted from your attack, which is why you need really high attack support units with boosters and whatnot. But it does affect SP units too, because if the defense is higher than their attack, then whatever is remaining from that gets subtracted from your SP. So that's why I should actually go attack on Nanao. And most of my 2 out of 5 units, I do... Well, I guess not. Yeah, most of the time, if it's a Guild Quest unit, I will go attack first. I never built up Apache, because I had better units. But yeah, and then melee Espada is easier, because Rukia is the real carry. I can sub 10 melee Espada, so what I usually end up doing is Rukia with Yoruichi and Broken. He's 3-star defense, but he's just there for the boost. And he doesn't have Enhancer, which is why I say it's important to sub 10 that week, because the boost runs out after 10 seconds instead of 20. But yeah, you could sub 15 ranged, and you can sub 10 melee with these teams. We already looked at those. No affiliation is the last one left. I mean, my no affiliation units are pretty beefy, just like Soul Reaper. Obviously, I have him for main both weeks. He does fine with Bombardment. You can, on range no affiliation week, I use him with Noelle and Masaki, I think, for the boost. And they can sub 5 pretty easily. And Masaki's 2 out of 5, T20, so she's pretty beefy. She boosts or barriers the team as well. You can... I tried to do a sub 2 second with Nini. Nini, Noelle, and Ichigo on ranged week. And it's possible, but I think it would take a lot of resets to do that one. That would be really annoying, so I just ended up sticking with Masaki to keep the consistency, because Masaki kicks ass. Melee week, I used to use Ichigo, White Ichigo, but I don't anymore. Now I use, obviously, Ichigo as a main. Who do I use? Probably Soifone and Mugetsu. And then I would swap this to weaken resistance, so that he's not weakened when he uses his strong attacks. You can also use Soifone and White Ichigo for more consistent. They can sub 10 second just fine with Ichigo as a main. They could probably sub 5 second, because they're both really good units. Yeah, that'd probably be a better team than Mugetsu support. There is a decent amount of options. But yeah, I can easily clear every hard mode Guild Quest week. I probably have an average of about 10 seconds, because some of them are faster than 10 seconds and some of them are slower, but usually only around 15 to 20 seconds. So, but yeah, I've gone casual for the most part. I don't reset as much anymore, but I can easily, like, clear hard mode Guild Quest. That is definitely not a problem.